Hi friends, welcome back to Indian Football Supporters YouTube channel. Today here with me Rohan. We are going to do podcast of Bengaluru FC. We are talking about the Bengaluru FC preview about ISL season 8. If you want to join me like this, please contact me through Instagram. Okay guys, let's start the preview of Bengaluru FC. Rohan, what do you think about the new coach of Bengaluru FC, Marco Pesu Marco?
Yes.
Player
First of all,
Carl
yeah. So first of all, before getting into Marco's topic, what you should understand from last season is that Bengaluru has been lacking a lot of quality in their midfield, a lot of creativity. It's been lacking. They had no attacking midfielder, and the midfielders were not able to bring some proper quality passes, bring proper quality crosses. The final third was lacking. So basically, Carlos was a really defensive coach. We've seen it. He was a really defensive coach who always depends on set pieces, corners, throw-ins. I mean, he does really good in set pieces, but open play is something which is very important in football as well. So that's where Bengaluru were lacking a lot. So BFC board so I think Marco Pezzioli is a really attacking coach because he's a German who has a taste of Italian and Dutch football. So yeah, he has a lot of attacking display. So hopefully he's the one who can provide the drought, who can break the drought for us, who can bring that creativity which we always lacked, and not just depend on set pieces, but also go and score and open goals with a good amount of creativity as well. So I think Marco is a really attacking coach, and German coaches love to keep going. They want more. They want more goals. So I think he's going to be a really good coach. We've seen him in AFC Cup. He was ruthless against Mazia, and the amount of chances he gave to youngsters was really great. So what I think is Marco is a perfect coach which BFC need right now.
Yes. This year, Bengaluru FC signed some amazing Indian players. What do you think about it?
Yes, next season it's 3+1 rule, right? So sorry, not 3+1, it's 4 foreigner rule. So that extra foreign spot is being removed. So now this will give a deeper role for the Indian players to play. So it's really smart from Bengaluru FC to sign a lot of good Indian talents like Danish Farooq, but like Vidyasagar Singh, and a lot of academy talents as well, like Leon Augustin, Shiva Shakti coming up from the reserve team, Roshan Singh as well. So all these youngsters, that it's like too many talents stacked up in one team. So it's really good from BFC to sign all these quality Indian players like Jayesh Rani and all those players. So with four foreigner rule, Indians will have a deeper role to play, and with that, signing all these players, all these extra Indian talents, it's really good to watch, and I think that'll be a tough competition for the others to see.
Did you see new Bengaluru FC in AFC Cup?
Yeah, I mean, of course, before coming up to the AFC Cup last season, Bengaluru FC, I told you they lacked a lot of goals, the creativity, and coming up to AFC Cup, it's a completely new team, like many base players like Cabra, Raul Beke, Semba Hokep, and many base players like Eric Patlu, Dimas Delgado, and all of them have left BFC. So and even Eric Patlu was not selected for AFC Cup, so we were left with only three foreigners. It was quite difficult for us, but still, Marco, he tried his best. He transformed the team into an possession-based team and not just set pieces. And against ATKMB, he kept 70% of possession, lacked a bit of creativity, but it was still good. It was exceptional for a new team. A new team, Alan Costa, who was new, and Clayton Silva, who was there previous season, but he wasn't the base, like Cabra, Dimas, and all. He just played one season, and like all these new players coming in, and it was good to watch. Like even though they didn't give their best, but to be honest, in that kind of position, like to be honest, yeah, it was exceptional. It was exceptional from BFC, and against Mazia, they were absolutely ruthless. So if you ask me, they were quite decent in the AFC Cup.
Rohan, what is your opinion about Eric Bartolo's issue?
It's quite complicated because we never know what happened behind the scenes. Because Eric Patlu, he breached the code protocols in Maldives, which by which the what do you say, the matches have been postponed. So I think, and I think many people are saying that has brought a shame to Indian football. So Pat Jinder and BFC management have been really mad about it. They were really angry about it, and plus even Eric was getting a bit old, so they wanted to replace him, and plus they were angry about this issue. So I think they really saying didn't want to keep him anymore. Even though he's a club legend, he's been absolutely incredible, but he didn't receive a proper farewell as well. So as a BFC fan, it hurts me to see him leave like this without a proper farewell and all that. So yeah, I think I won't say anything right now, but yeah, he's really great, and hopefully he'll find a good team later as well.
Did you see Alan Costa as unconfidence in AFC Cup with
Yeah,
his team?
absolutely. Seeing Alan Costa, I kept huge hopes on him, like a lot of hopes on him, because he's coming from Serie B from Brazil. And yeah, like he's only 30 years of age. And I thought he'd be the good replacement for Juanan. But, he was quite shaky in AFC Cup, lack of confidence. He was quite shaky and he gave a lot of possession. And Musawu King beside him was somewhat fine, if you ask me. But Alan Costa, he needs to be stronger. He needs to gain more confidence. Like, he needs to stop being afraid of the opponents and, you be a player like Joanan, he's absolutely ruthless. So I want Alan Costa to be someone like that. He lacked confidence in AFC Cup, and hopefully that will change when ISL starts.
Did you appreciate BFC Academy for providing players like Seva Shakti, Leonak Singh, Roshan Singh, Suresh
Absolutely.
Singh?
Yeah, surely, BFC has one of the best academies right now. You can't deny it. Like the amount of talents they're producing, it's absolutely amazing. This you've seen their academy boys, performing in the Durand Cup. They went to semi-finals with just the under 21 team. It's absolutely incredible. These players, they're going to be the future. So you can say the club has a bright future, and even India has a bright future. Because the amount of talents they produce.
The young players played in Durand Cup have
Yeah.
to get more chances in ISL.
Yeah, surely, some of the players, like seeing in the Durand Cup performance, they've been even promoted to the main team, like Leon Augustin. He's been promoted to the main team last season. He didn't get good opportunities last season, but in AFC Cup and Durand Cup, he has been amazing. Even Roshan Singh, he's played the Durand Cup. He's going to get good chances in ISL, that's for sure. Even Vidyasagar Singh, he was amazing. Shiva Shakti, even he has been promoted to the senior team after being the top scorer in BDFA Super Division. So even he deserves a chance, and Muirang as well. I don't think he's fit for ISL yet, but he's been really good. And even Parag, he's also been amazing. He's been good as a right back. He even played as a centre back. He's a very versatile player. So of course, these academy boys and these youngsters will surely get a chance in ISL. And some of them like Biswa and all that, they're still with the second team, but then they'll be promoted soon as well. I can assure you that. But the players like Toy Singh, like the Mike Fang, these youngsters are just 17 years of age and they're promoted to the main team. That's really huge for them, and it would be great to watch them play.
Sunil Chhetri was going to retire. Who was going to take Sunil Chhetri's position? There was Leon Augustine, Shiva Shakti Extra,
Yes,
Vidyasagar also.
yes.
So they
You know,
have so many replacements,
yeah,
right? Rohan?
that's true. That's true. Because you can see a lot of replacements are being signed by BFC. Vijay Sagar, his contract is till 2024. Shiva Shakti is till 2022, but I believe BFC is going to extend that as well. And Leon Augustin, he's an academy boy. I don't think he's going to go anywhere. He's surely going to stay until 2023, and surely, he's going to extend his contract as well. So yeah, a lot of replacements have been signed. Sunil Chhetri is 37. He's still active, but yeah, the replacements have been signed, and it's not a big deal. So yeah, after Sunil Chetri gets a good farewell, I think these youngsters are the ones who are going to step up, like Vijay Sagar, like Shiva Shakti, Leon Augustin, and these boys are going to step up and do good.
What do you think about the foreign signings of Bengaluru FC? They not signed a proper attacking midfielder.
Yeah, I mean, like this is what the part I didn't like a lot, because last season as well we lacked an attacking midfielder, and this season as well, we lacked an attacking. Once again we failed to sign an attacking midfielder. But to be honest, the foreign signings, I'm not. I can't say I'm sad because the players which they signed, Prince Ibarra, he's only 25 years of age. He has experience in Jupiler Pro League and Algerian League, which is a lot better than ISL. So it's good to see a player like him, coming to ISL. He's just 25 years of age with experience. Usually BFC signs, foreigners who are 30 plus and all those, older foreigners, which many other teams sign as well. But this time BFC have signed everyone who are below 30 years of age except Clayton Silva, which is good to see. Musawu King is just 28. Bruno Ramirez is from Portugal division, Liga NOS, which is crazy, It's like the sixth best league in the world right now. So it's a
Yes.
huge signing. It's a really huge signing. And Iman Basafa as well. Yeah, he's an Iranian player. He's from the Persian Gulf Pro League. He's good as well. I've surveyed many Iranian medias. They've said he's really good. Just that he doesn't know English and he's never played outside India, but he has a lot of talent as well. So the foreign signings, it's been good. Maybe the defense was a bit shaky, but if Alan Costa comes to form and if he does good, it's going to be absolutely amazing. And you might say an attacking midfielder is missing, but I think Bruno Ramirez, with the ISL standards, he can be the one to provide all those passes which were lacking. Iman Basafa is creative as well. So I believe these two, along with Jayesh Rani and Danish Farooq Butt, would do good.
Can you tell the lineup of Bengaluru FC this season?
Going with the lineup, I think it's really hard to choose because Bengaluru FC have a lot of talents, lot of talents. We've seen that in Durand Cup, AFC Cup. It's too hard to choose, but I'll try my best to choose. I'd go with 4-3-3 formation with Gurpreet as a goalkeeper and left back. I think I'll go with Ashik or Roshan, any one of these two. It's your wish. You choose you choose any one of these two. And coming up to the centre back position, I think I'll go with Aaron Costa and Musa Ukeng. And in right back, I think I'll choose Ajit Kumar or Sarthak, anyone in these two. Ajit, mostly Ajit, because see him in the Durand Cup, he has been incredible. And coming up to the midfield, Suresh Singh along with Bruno Ramirez and Jayesh Rani would be my pick. Jayesh Rani going up front, and Bruno Ramirez and Suresh Singh will be the holding midfielders over there. And coming up to the attack, left winger, I'd go with Sunil Chetri. And if Chetri doesn't perform well, I don't think he's not going to perform well. He's surely going to do good. And in case if he doesn't perform well, we have Leon Augustin to replace him as well. So Chetri, along with Clayton or Prince Ibarra, whoever does good in these two would be the main striker, along with the right winger as Sujanta Singh.
Which are the players we had to look in BFC this season?
To be honest, coming up to the Indian players, I'd go with Vidyasagar Singh and Leon Augustin and even Roshan Singh. These three, they have a lot of potential. They've been proven it in the AFC Cup and Durand Cup. So I think Leon Augustin, Vidya, and Roshan Singh are three players to watch out for from the Indian squad, but many people don't know them yet. But I'm sure they're going to realize their potential when ISL starts. And the main players coming up to the foreigners, I think Bruno Ramirez and Prince Ibarra are two players to watch out for because BFC has always been lacking a proper centre forward, and who knows if Prince Ibarra changes that for us. And Bruno Ramirez is coming from Liga NOS, which is quite huge. So even he might do good, and he's one to watch out for. He's really one to watch out for. He's an underrated signing. So I think him and Prince are going to be the main men to watch out for, along with Clayton Silva as well. He's already proved himself last season. Maybe if he gets more support, more support from the midfielders, he might do even better.
Playing two foreign centre backs was good for BFC. What they had to do for crucial matches?
Like that's a big problem, because you have only 4 foreign spots now in ISL. Like you have only four foreign spots in the starting 11. So if you put 2 foreign spots in the centre back position, in the attack you have to choose Indian players. So that's where BFC signed a lot of Indian talents. But yeah, I mean, I'm not so happy with having 2 foreign centre backs. If we had someone like Anwar Ali or a good Indian centre back like Rahul Beke who has left us, so it would have been better. It would have saved an extra foreign spot up forward. Maybe we would have started Clayton Silva and Prince Ibarra together. If an Indian centre back like Pratik Chaudhary or Moirang, if these two do good, maybe we'd start with another foreign attacker like Prince Ibarra with Clayton Silva. But yeah, I mean, 2 foreign centre backs, I mean, it's not bad, like it creates a lot of stability as well.
What change had to BFC bring this season in this ISL?
So before talking about the change BFC has to bring this season, I'll talk about what they lacked last season. Creativity is one. And of course, they didn't do good. There was no consistency at all. A lot of injuries as well. Coach problem. He was sacked in between. Carl Squadrat was sacked in between, which left us with Naushad Musa, who was a head coach for reserve team, but he's never coached a main team, So it was a new opportunity for him as well. And he tried to do his best, but he couldn't. There was no consistency, as I told you. And we played good, but not in all games. We played good against KBFC in 4-2 game, against Mumbai City 4-2. But there was no consistency at all. That's what you can say. The consistency is something which BFC really lacked. And coming up to this season, a new coach, new base, completely new players. So and yeah, a lot of talents as well. So the difference which BFC has to make this time is, create more opportunities, make more opportunities through open play. Don't just depend on set pieces. You get a goal. Don't sit back and do parking or whatever. Just don't do long ball spammage a lot of times. Just keep attacking, keep wanting more. Be hungry for more goals. That's what I'm gonna say. And yeah, a lot of players have to step up as well. Even the Indians have a deeper role to play, so they have to do good.
Bengaluru first game was against Northeast United. How had to Bengaluru approach the game?
Yeah, against Northeast United, looking at Northeast right now, they're quite underrated, but they're not the strongest team as well. There are many stronger teams like ATKMB, FC Goa who are better than them, but we can't underestimate Northeast. They might be the easiest team you'd think, but we can't really underestimate them. So as I told you, we have to keep attacking, keep putting pressure on them, keep putting pressure on your opponents. They have to feel the pressure and they have to panic or something like that, and automatically you put pressure on them, they lose the ball, you can take the ball and capitalize on that situation. So against Northeast United, Northeast United, they haven't, retained a lot of players, but they have retained Deshaun Brown, Gallego, and along with Casa Camara as well. So, we have to make a lot of through balls. You have to utilize the spaces and, be compact at defense and, move the transition. The transition has to be good from defense to midfield to attack. That has to be there. And yeah, to be honest, if we give 100%, we could easily beat Northeast. Anyways, we can't, underestimate Northeast as well. Who knows if they have a lot of potential as well.
Yes. What will be the final position of Bangalore FC in the table after this season?
If you're asking me about the final position, it should be top four. Looking at the talent that BFC has right now, looking at the Indian base, it should be top four.
Yes.
Top four should be the aim, and I think they will finish in top four. But if they give 100%, if they do, they might beat the likes of ATKMB, they might beat FC Goa, they might beat Hyderabad FC, and maybe even finish in the first spot and book a spot for them in the Asian Champions League as well. It's possible, looking at the talent they have, that should be possible.
Yes.
And that should be
Correct.
the aim with the coach as well, with Marco Pezzaoli. That should be the aim, and they can do it if they give their 100%. Like even if the defense comes together, if Alan Costa regains his confidence, if Musavo King does good, it is possible. That's what I'll say.
Okay. Okay, guys. Video's over. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for joining, Rohan. Thanks
you.
for good podcast. I will
Yeah,
meet
thanks,
you
guys.
video, guys.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.